Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and I'm shooting this on Thursday morning on the eve of the Springfield Paper Show or Antique Show. And I'm really looking forward to it. Mrs. Papergoy has to work, and I'll be picking her up, and we'll be leaving just afternoon and heading on over. Nice long 6+ hour drive, just in time to hit the rush hour over near Columbus. Woohoo! But it should be a lot of fun. We're going to meet, or planning on meeting Don, the auction professor, good friend of the channel over there. And been over there a few times now at this point, and going to be doing a haul video for you guys as well, and be doing a special haul video over on the premium side. But what I wanted to talk about today is, one of the only good jokes in Hot Shots, and that's I just finished reading Great Expectations. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be, and that's what I always think about when I think about Great Expectations. And I have them, and I know I'm going to have a good time, and I know I'm going to find stuff. But a lot of times people box themselves in when they're going to something or other like this. And I know I've mentioned it before in videos, but I don't know what's going to be there. I don't know what I'm going to buy. I cannot go in with preconceived notions as to what I'm going to buy. Now, first off, I'm in a special situation. In that, yes, it will be a 6-hour drive over, 6-hour drive back. Got hotel rooms, got a lot of expenses tied up already. So I should buy something, but let's say that I didn't. Let's say that absolutely walking the entire grounds, I didn't buy anything. And in fact, last time I went in September, I spent under $400. Got some decent stuff, but that was basically due to one vendor that had some really, really good deals. Otherwise, I pick off an item here or there. But the time before that, I bought a lot more stuff. And so you do not know what you're possibly going to be picking up. Not concerned about it because there are 3 other decent buying opportunities plus a house call coming up. So I'll be able to get stuff no matter what in the near future. And even if all of a sudden every one of those struck out, I'm lucky in that I've got the back stock, roughly 75,000 items that I could list, so I needn't actually buy. So I have no pressure on me as far as what it is that I buy. Of course, I would like to buy a lot of good things, but there's no particular pressure. Weather's looking to be nice the entire time that I'm out there, but let's say that it were monsoons. And there are a couple of indoor people. There will be people who would have tents set up, so I'd still be able to buy something or other. But that is, of course, a risk you take as well, especially for outdoor shows if you're driving far away. But again, I can't have any expectations going in. That is one of the positive things about doing a wide net, a wide niche. Now, odds are I see no scenario in which I suddenly buy glassware. I see no scenario in which I suddenly buy anything that's way outside. I'm not going to buy 5,000 records. I'm just simply not going to do that. So it will strictly be 99% paper that I buy. Again, not that I won't pick off one item or 2 items here or there if I see them, if they're underpriced and I say, hey, I know. And we've done videos about that in the past as well. You got to shoot the free throws when they're out there. If I see an item that's a toy that I know is a $100 toy and it's at $5, well, I'm going to buy it, obviously. But that being said, I don't look for it. I don't spend a lot of time, checking out the toys. It would just almost literally have to be sitting next to the paper items that I'm looking at. But I can't go into it saying I'm going to buy a lot of comic books. I'm going to buy a lot of magazines. I'm going to buy a lot of maps because I don't know what's out there. And I think that's the biggest thing that you need to remember when you're out there sourcing, the exception being if you're going to a dedicated show. If you are going to a postcard show, in your mind you're going to buy postcards, you'll probably be able to buy postcards. But when you go to a generalist show, same thing, you go to Comic-Con and you want to buy comic books, there will be comic books there. But if you go to a generalist show like this has roughly 1,000 dealers, so I'm going to find something or other. Now, some level of those people they count as dealers are things like the food vendors. You got dedicated clothing areas, things like that, which I won't be purchasing anything from them unless, I'm really cold and got to buy a jacket, which is what we bought, what we did last time. But overall, there will be people there with paper. There will be paper specialists, and there will be just the general dealers who have some paper sitting there, books sitting there, and so on. But I can't go in, again, preconceptions will sink me Because if I say I'm looking for comic books, and that's literally what my eyes are, you've seen the haul videos that I've done before, where Mrs. Papergoy will sit there and record me, or where I've recorded with the GoPro, and I scan things so fast that I'm just looking for paper. Well, if all of a sudden in my head I'm just looking for comic books, I'm going to overlook a lot of really, really good things potentially. And so don't go in with just a preconception that, oh, I'm going to this show just to buy X. Broaden your horizons unless you literally are going to a niche show or you are a niche dealer. But again, my niche is wide enough with paper. It could be any number of things, from brochures on through the maps, on through to whatever, documents, anything, billheads, any of that kind of stuff I'll be potentially purchasing. The other nice thing, which we've mentioned before in videos, is this is the 4th or 5th time that I'm going out to this show. So I've been out there a number of times before. I know the dealers that I want to seek out because they're the dealers that have had good buys in the past. And not that I don't look at every table beyond the ones that absolutely don't have anything that I want, which would be, there are people out there that sell things for the garden. There are people out there that just sell furniture. Well, those people I walk by very, very quickly. I do take a cursory glance just to see, maybe they have a pile of paper, maybe they have a pile of books, but I'm not spending my time with those dealers. But again, I'm hitting the dealers that I know have always in the past had good stuff. I can think of about 8 to 10 of them right off the top of my head that's like, yes, I'm going to hit them and I'm going to see what they have. And I know which ones will deal, and I know which ones will package, and I know this and I know that, just from past experience. And of course, there's always a new dealer or two there as well. I've also in the past noticed that the May show is actually better than the September show. And the reason why is because the September show, a lot of times the people have been picked through for the entire summer, and I picked through them recently as well. I mean, I realize May to September is 4 months, but if they're not a dedicated paper dealer, they might not pick up a lot of paper in between. Well, this has given them an entire winter to come through with paper and show up with that. So don't know what I'm going to find. As always, I'm pretty excited about it, pretty excited about the opportunity, excited to see Don. He's always good conversation and always gives me some good tips as well. Always great to do the videos with him also, which again, you'll be seeing a haul video, and probably, I would think, as long as he acquiesces to an interview, you'll probably see an interview with him, and hopefully he has an interview with me over on his channel as well. That would be great. Thanks to Mrs. Papergoy in advance for doing the camera on that, as well as doing the camera on the show for the haul video. Also, it'll be interesting to see if Whatnot sets up again, and if they do, it's going to be one of the first tents that I head on over to, because I want to make sure that I can sign up tomorrow for a spot. However, and this is a big however, let's say that I got there and one of the first booths that I saw was Whatnot, and I were able to sign up for a 30-minute live auction spot like I did in September when I was there. Well, that all of a sudden puts a little bit of pressure on me and will actually change my buying habits a little bit, because I don't have anything to sell at this moment. I'm going down there with literally nothing to be able to sell. So I would need to be able to say to myself, okay, you have a 30-minute show, you've got the ability to sell 20 to 22 items within that time, maybe even 25 items within that time. I've got to find stuff. And so that would kind of put a different kind of pressure on me, where all of a sudden I have to buy things. Now, I'm not overly worried about that, because again, I'll be able to find items that I would be able to sell. And even if it were a break even, again, you want to make money, but even if it were a break even, I would see that as a cost of doing business, because I would be on the Whatnot app, sponsored by them, and I would get extra people coming by and hopefully liking and subscribing to the Whatnot. So sometimes it's not all about making the money if you look at the long term in something or other, and that would be exactly what that would be. Not that I don't want to make money on everything that I buy, but that would be one of those, okay, yeah, I was able to find 20 items to sell, and okay, I paid more than I wanted for them just because it was slim pickings, and maybe I'll lose a couple of bucks, but again, for the long-term exposure, that would be worth it. So that will be one of the first booths I check out, because again, I don't want to find them at the end of the day and then say, I haven't found anything. Now the pressure's really on me to find something, because you absolutely never know. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. I don't know how many big shows that you've gone to. I would definitely suggest that you do so. Again, this is got roughly 1,000 dealers. You check around. You've got things like Brimfield is going on right now, so there should be a lot of dealers up over there as well. If you are live up in the Northeast, you've got various things like the 100-mile garage sales and the world's longest garage sale and all those kind of things, as well as some huge flea markets all over the place. So do check around within, I would say probably, well, this is about a 6-hour drive for me, but I would check around within a 4 to 6 hour perimeter of your house and go to those kind of the really, really big shows. And again, don't have great expectations for the first one because you're still feeling things out. But if you say, okay, this show is held every year or every 6 months or every whatever period of time, and you start showing up and you start talking to dealers, start passing your business card out, you'll be really, really surprised at how the show gets better over time as you learn the lay of the land and you learn dealers. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. There is one dealer who has decent stuff all the time, decent paper stuff all the time. He doesn't bundle, he doesn't deal, his prices are too high to start with. The first time I went there, I made the mistake of going through and taking a look at what he had. And I was listening to his interactions with other customers, and it was basically, no, I'm not going to deal on that stuff. My prices are too low to start with. I mean, well, I'm looking at it saying, you're not leaving me much room, dude, to start with, and you're not willing to deal. I do still check his booth out just in case he underprices something, because there is always that possibility that he's got something priced at $10 that's really a $100 item. I would purchase it at that point, of course, but I don't waste a lot of time. Whereas the first time I was out there, I spent probably 15 minutes going through the stuff in his booth, which was 15 minutes wasted just because he wasn't willing to deal. And that's the advantage of going back year after year after year. I can see where, I know exactly where he sets up at. I take a quick walk through his booth, see if he got anything really, really interesting, and then I just keep on walking. So that's the advantage of going back year after year. You don't waste the time on the dealers that aren't worth it. And you do spend extra time in the dealers that will give you good deals. And remember as well, when you talk to the dealer and you let them know that you're a reseller, and a lot of times I'll ask for a dealer special, hey, can you help a dealer out? A lot of times they're more than willing to do so because they're making money on the item as well. They know that you're a dealer and you come back regularly, every year, every 6 months, whatever it is. And they understand that, yeah, you've got to make money as well. They're probably more willing to bundle and more willing to do a deal with you, especially if you've got the money and you back it up and you're willing to buy, a large pile of stuff. They got something for $2 and you say, hey, can you help a dealer out? I'll give you $1. Yeah, okay, whatever. But if you're starting to look, you say, hey, you got a lot of good stuff here. I'd like to make a pile. Can you give a dealer a discount? Very often they'll say, yeah, I'll take care of you. Yeah, I'll take care of you. So that's another good thing to end up doing when you're out there. So hopefully that helps you a little bit out there. I'm really looking forward to this. We'll have a video coming up after the event to see how well I did. Have a nice couple of haul videos as well. So do hit the like button here. Wish me luck. And we'll have a lot of great videos and hopefully some videos with Don as well.